Hello, guys. Welcome to this podcast. Today's episode, I have a very special, dear friend, guest of mine called Tarik. Nice to have you, man. How are you doing
Hey
today?
everyone. Yeah, very good, bro. Very good, very good. Especially since
Amazing, man.
I'm here sitting with you right now.
Thank you, man. It's already off to a
It's an
great
honor.
start.
It's an honor, bro. Thank you. How are you
Thank you so
doing, bro?
much, man. I am great as well. This is probably one of the most natural introductions I've had so far. Anyway, Tarik, for the people that don't know you, would you like to give a little bit of an introduction about yourself?
Sure, sure. I'm Tarik, and I like I like music. I like talking about like reaching your goals and law of attraction and manifestation, that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's just pretty much my hobbies. And I live in the Netherlands, like like Gus. We met through an online community where we were building like an agency, a marketing agency, and that's where we connected. And we traveled a bit together for a while in South America. And yeah, ever since we're just bros and just sharing stuff with each other, and I love it. And that's kind of me. And yeah.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much for giving you a quick introduction. I mean, to be honest, that period when we traveled to South America, for the people who are listening, I guess about almost a year ago now, it's a little over a year actually, when we were both building an SMMA, social media marketing agency, we decided to travel to South America and we spent a total of 3 months, actually 2 months in Costa Rica and 1 month in Colombia. And for me, that period of my life was transformational because it really allowed me to kind of leave this habitual environment I was in, not specifically just for the people and the environment itself, so like the Netherlands and the area I was living in, but also for work because I was used to having a very solid work routine. And I feel like when you change your environment, it's almost like you get this fresh, renewed, clean mind as well, where you don't have like specific habits that you have for this environment or you have specific plans, and it really allows you to start from scratch. And I think that's a very powerful thing. So yeah, it has been a really, really great period for me. Tarik, looking back at that period, what would you say is like the biggest thing that maybe up until now you still benefited from when we traveled?
Yeah, like exactly what you were saying. Like the isolation we were in,
Mm-hmm.
apart from the world and apart from all the ideas of everyone around you, and like you're just able to form your own ideas way better. And that's where I benefited the most, I think. Just really that space with you and I, and yeah, just being able to go inward, like very deep, and just getting the answers from there, like in terms of what I want to do next with my life, right? So that was huge, bro. Like, yeah,
Definitely. And I feel I also, apart from me personally, and I'm going to ask you a question about this shortly, was the travel bit. Because I hadn't really, like, really traveled outside of my hometown or country for more than like 2 weeks, outside of holidays, outside of school trips. So this was also like the first period that I really was kind of like challenged to be responsible and like handle new environments. And I think like South America was probably a good place to do that because it's kind of straight into the chaos. At least that's what I found. But yeah, Tarek, you had already been traveling before to Asia, right? Um, so can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, how has that travel journey of, I think, about a year, how has that shaped who you are today?
Mm. Good question, bro. Yeah, I went to Southeast Asia for like about half a year, and I went to India first. That was 3 months of India, and like I'd never seen like a place like that. Like the people were so different than the people here in the Netherlands, and it was immediately just I don't know. It's kind of like you feel that people are busy with different things there. They're just thinking about different things and they're living like different lives. And I think it was good to see that that life is possible on different terms as well, like completely different terms. Because I think here in the Netherlands we are born into kind of a hustle, like a hustle culture. Like everyone is always pushing forward and everyone wants growth, which is nice, of course, but kind of gets a bit mechanical if that makes sense. And I found that in India there was a bit like in Asia there was a bit more uh, um, like yeah, like a bit more like a spiritual feeling or something. The people were mm, yeah, they weren't necessarily living to fulfill their their egos and their selves. And that's not like it's not a bad thing to always want to be pushing forward for yourself, for your family, and like the individualism that I mean. But I don't know, it was just very different, like laid back. I kind of got a more laid back attitude to life. I think that's what um, that's what I got the most out of. Doesn't mean that I don't like to work and like I don't like to work hard as well. But yeah, I like to work hard on the right things, right? So, and
Mm.
yeah, it was just a very freeing experience as well. I felt extremely free, and yeah, it just proved that you don't need much, right, to have fun and in life. Yeah,
Well,
that's kind of what I got out of it, and yeah, that was kind of what you were asking, right? Or
yeah, yeah, that's, I think, a really good answer. Um, and it's interesting as well because when we traveled, I found myself a lot more free too because I was used to literally working like 10 to 12 hours a day, pretty much most of the day, then going to the gym, some free time in the evening is what I did for, I guess, like end of 2022, beginning of 2023. But when we were traveling initially, we kind of started out both like still working quite a lot of the day, and it's funny because as we got along in our on our trip, gradually we started working less and less and less. For me, it was because I didn't really enjoy like specifically the people I was working with and like the service I was providing. What
mm,
was that reason for you? Was it the same or was it perhaps something else? I don't know if we ever talked about this, by the way, but
yeah, I think so as well. Like the business that I was doing was nice and it was fun, and I liked working on it, like really. But eventually, I realized like, okay, this is like a product that I'm selling that works, right? But it's not from me. It doesn't come from me. It doesn't come from my heart. So I thought like if I would just take a step back and just evaluate what I really want in life, which that trip was, of course, huge in. I kind of like realized there what I really wanted to do with my life. And then from there on, I just started building it off, like with the agency. Mm, I think I lost my train of thought there, but What were you asking? Like,
Well, what the reason was for you
oh yeah,
that you gradually started working less on the business?
yeah, I think so. Like the business, it was nice, but it wasn't the most natural thing that I could do. So I just took a step back. And since we were already like traveling, yeah, why not just enjoy the travel, right?
That's very true. Because I felt at the beginning it was almost like we're just working in a different environment
Yeah,
across the globe. But
yeah.
like when we started to really kind of cut down on the working time, I also realized, by the way, as like a quick note, um, and by the way, it's completely okay to lose a bit of train of thought. Like it happens to all of us. I
Mm,
guess I think it happened even to the one of the first people I had on the podcast as well. But what I was trying to say
hmm
is, I realized that I did not have to work a certain amount of hours to make progress or achieve a result. Because like it's the first time I really started to question as well my beliefs around work. Because I was working with a
hmm
mindset coach at the time with John Gab specifically.
mm,
Absolute
mm.
G.
Legend.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I had like I think um, 2 out of 4 coaching calls in Costa Rica with him. So 2 I had at home, and then the last 2 I had in Costa Rica. And I noticed a massive shift because he taught me some of the most fundamental things, some of them which I still use today. And I guess one of the main things he taught me is to question my beliefs. And a
Mm,
big example of that practically was work. Because I used to believe that I needed to work hard to make progress. I used to believe that I needed to work a lot to literally like get stuff done and like be profitable, make money. And it's funny because really the beliefs that you truly believe, you don't question them. So like
mm.
if you really want to find out like what are the biggest beliefs that are quote unquote holding you back, because I don't believe it's holding you back. I believe it's just something you're unaware of that you would like to change. But like the biggest thing is just question the things that you wouldn't normally question. And I'm talking about like money, I'm talking about work, I'm talking about food, I'm talking about relationships. Like you might assume something to be true, but you have to question that stuff, man. That's something which why
Mm.
can you, for example, not work 1 hour a day and make $10,000 per month? There's people doing that. Why can you not work, I don't know, 1 hour a week and make $10,000 a month? Like no one
Yeah,
has defined these rules. No one has
exactly, bro.
put in stone like this is exactly how it works. Because there are certain natural laws, and that's important to keep in mind as to not go too far. I'm talking from personal experience, by the way, but
What
but
would
really,
you would you like to share or
yeah, of course. I mean,
yeah, you were finishing something with.
yeah, wasn't too important. I guess like the main thing for me was I'm quite open minded. So,
Hmm
for example, when we talk about stuff like the law of attraction, like reality creation, which is something we're probably going to get into in a second, you have to be quite open-minded to accept these ideas of the world if you have been taught otherwise from childhood. And I like to stretch this. So what I'm talking about, like free money. So literally not having to do anything and receiving money. That's something which I actually got from the book that you gave me, Tarik, which
Mm.
is the trick to money is having some. I highly recommend it. Um, but yeah, back to the original point I was talking about is like there are certain natural laws, but the rest of reality is pretty much an open playbook for you to fill out with whatever you would like to see in your reality. And you can make it pretty much as crazy as you would like, as long as you are just convicted in your own belief and you are like you really believe in what you say, then that's going to play out with time. So that's a super powerful thing, man. And now that I
Mm.
actually talked about all of this, Tarik, do you maybe have an idea of perhaps some beliefs that you've broken in the past that were big for you, or maybe some right now, like that you really possibly could question?
yeah, yeah. Obviously, the work one. You have to work hard to yeah to succeed in life. Um, like you don't have to like maybe like hard work is required, but it just feels so different to work on a thing that you love and where you just feel that you're pulled into the right direction with, right? And just grinding it out, just I don't know. It's different. And other beliefs I would say, yeah, about a lot of them about money, I think. A lot of them about mm, what I also kind of found, and I think this is also what letting go says, like the book of David Hawkins, is when you eventually let go of like a feeling that was like kind of stuck or anything, that you don't necessarily like realize that it's gone because it's gone, and you kind of don't remember what was sitting there because um yeah, now you're already like in the higher vibration, and you're already believing the other belief. So maybe that's also a reason that I don't like, yeah. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, essentially
I'm
that you
listening.
didn't remember like the specific beliefs that you broke out of because it's like you reached a different level of consciousness. Is that what you mean?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. That was just on a side note, but I can list some more beliefs. Probably about relationships and about love and I don't know what belief. Mm, yeah, maybe that you have to be chosen or something to really reach the like success that the higher levels. Because in a way, I guess you can be chosen, but you can also choose yourself, right?
Oh, I love that, man.
Yeah, it's kind
It
of
sounds like a
like
trend surfing quote.
or maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the people that are chosen will eventually choose themselves. If that makes sense. I
Oh,
don't
you mean
know.
so the people that have that are viewed upon as chosen ones? So the people that are viewed as chosen ones, they chose themselves. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, or maybe eventually they get this feeling that they are chosen, and then they make the leap to do it, to actually do it.
Do you believe you're chosen?
I think I do, but I also believe that I chose myself. Like
Let's
I'm
go.
100% convinced that anyone can reach anything that they want in life. Maybe not anything that it's on their mind right now, but eventually what's in their heart, it's possible to choose yourself, to choose your heart, to choose for yourself.
Ooh, I do actually have a question about that because, like, for this topic, I guess you are one of the first people that I really admired taking this leap. Um, because when we were in Costa Rica, maybe if you want to share a little bit about it, that's cool as well. But really, what I'm trying to go towards is like, um, do you have maybe some advice for people trying to find what their heart truly wants in terms of goals? And I think that you have a lot of courage because you actually follow your heart at a point where most people would probably not. And yeah, I think that's like, I really admire that about you, by the way, as a quick side note. So, do you want to share a
Thank you,
little
bro.
bit about that?
Thank you. Um, yeah, of course. At one point, I just felt so much confidence. Like I was kind of in the flow with the business as well. And yeah, I think Transurfing talks about this as well. It's called like increasing your uh, confidence levels or something, increasing your I don't know. Do you remember that?
What part?
Yeah, it's kind of the concept where you like say you're at the bottom, then you don't have enough confidence to like visualize the top, right? But you can start visualizing like a slightly better life or
Oh, like the
in
comfort
steps.
zone.
Exactly, the comfort
Mm.
zone. So yeah, like increasing. I guess I had an increased comfort zone, um, like while traveling, and 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 this is where I finally could go deep and just like in meditation and just feel what I always want, what my heart always longed for, and I don't know, it at that point it just felt like it just felt like a disrespect to even the universe to not do it, right? It felt so true. It felt so true that I needed to do that. And yeah, I can get into a bit what that looks like, but yeah, I just had to do it then and make the leap and just take the step backward and to not make any money for a while and then from there build that identity forward, I think. And yeah, it's regarding mostly it's regarding like music, a music career and kind of also this role model figure which can help other people, right? Help other artists, help other inspire like people, inspire the fans to also follow their heart, that kind of stuff, while making music that I love making. And yeah, that was kind of the thing that I was seeing in my meditations, and then I just went for it. And I would like encourage other people to do that as well because it might feel like unnatural and it might feel like yeah, you might feel insecure, right, doing that, but I guess the heart is so powerful that it will get you there and it knows how to get you there. So whenever you trust it as well, you just you only give signals to yeah, your heart and the universe that stuff will happen eventually.
All right. Yeah, man, that's a really powerful point you just made. We had to cut a little bit out there for the listener. Um, but yeah, I didn't really know actually that you got your vision from visualization specifically. So, do you mean that you really saw this kind of vision for music and inspiring people? You saw that in your visualizations during meditation, and that was basically when you knew, like, this is what I'm supposed to do, if I'm correct here?
Yeah, yeah, I would describe it as that. It's like I was reading the book and the book was kind of telling me like, okay, just give in, right? Just give in to your true desires. So I guess I was already writing about it and thinking about it, and this was going on, right? But eventually, and I think in the meditation is where I got the most powerful visions because I think there's already like a vision sitting there in your subconscious. You just need to tap into it by like increasing your comfort zone. So I guess I was stepping into that in my meditations, kind of like
Okay.
getting messages from the future, how that would look like.
Yeah, I think that's super interesting because, like, I personally have used visualization quite a lot actively. So, what I mean is, like, for example, you want to create a certain event in your life or a certain goal, and then you visualize the end outcome. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like the relationship, the success, the whatever, the car, the motorcycle. But like you could say open visualization. There's possibly another word for this. I think is very interesting. So when you like open yourself up to receive anything and you start receiving visions, that's when you really start questioning like, wow, this is like it came from nowhere. it does
Mm-hmm.
feel good. This must
Mm-hmm.
be something I should try out. So, do
Mm.
you have any like, do you have any, you could say like tips or advice for people looking to do this type of visualization, so kind of be open to receiving these images? Because I haven't received, I think, a lot of visualizations this way. I personally receive insights through other methods, but what advice do you have
Mm-hmm.
for people?
Yeah, I guess the body just needs to be relaxed, I think, and like the mind as well. But I guess you could um, do this through, yeah, I think through meditation. That would be the like the most straightforward answer, because in meditation, yeah, you just calm your system down, right? You calm your nervous system down. You calm your mind down. Your mind is less uh, active, as in it doesn't want to give impress its own idea of what we should do in our lives, and the subconscious can just flow a bit more naturally, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
So I
does.
guess meditation and just increasing your comfort zone as well. So, okay, maybe today it doesn't, you cannot just sit down and get these visions, but eventually as you start moving forward through other signs, other nudges that your heart is giving, like other, I think that way you can just start going towards that, and eventually you're just so convinced that it is this, and you can just close your eyes and just see that. You already see that. I think it has a lot to do with where you are in life right now. So are you already kind of in that flow? Are you kind of already going towards that? Because the vision that you will get will only confirm it, right? Yeah, I guess hope that makes does that make this a bit more clear?
Yes, it does, and I feel like comfort zone is a particularly good point to talk about that I don't know if many people talk about. Um, I remember when we were in Costa Rica that we went to this expensive watch shop once. Do you remember? Like the, what
Hmm.
was it? Cartier? Was it Cartier?
I think it was Patek Philippe.
Oh yeah, yeah. But thankfully, and
Patek.
that was a really good story. Like, I think we talked to like one of the guys that was also doing SMMA. Eric Cavallars was his name, and
Yeah.
he practiced quite a lot, like increasing your comfort zone. So like, or like pretending that you are already rich, going
Yeah,
into
yeah,
like
yeah.
expensive shops, like pretending like you just arrived with a private jet, you know, crazy stuff like this. It was super fun to talk
Yeah, it
about.
is.
And we actually did that once in Costa Rica, and we went to a Patek Philippe store and we started really seriously acting as if we were buying. We talked to this lady. We gave her our phone number. She never really reached out, by the way. She
Her
was
loss,
supposed
bro.
to
Her
reach out
loss.
when, yeah, bro. She was supposed to reach out when the Pateks were back in store, but but she never did, bro. Such such a pity. But yeah, anyway, the
She
point I
wasn't
was trying to
smelling.
get at with this
Yeah, yeah.
is that a good way to increase your comfort zone is just, especially for wealth, is just going to these expensive stores, watch stores, clothing stores, maybe even car dealerships if you want to buy like expensive cars, and just being around these things. Because there's another kind of principle I want to nudge in here, and that's that things in your close proximity are in your comfort zone. So it's a literally comfort zone
Mm.
is literally also what's close to you. So for example, if you
Mm.
want to be comfortable around money, what you can literally do is put money next to you. Because the things that you fear, the things that you do not want, you put them far away. So if you, for example, keep like money or food, certain types of food far away, you're basically signaling like it's not within my comfort zone. But if you do put things, for example, water is pretty much always in my comfort zone because it's always close to me. But if you have something like an expensive item, if you want to be wealthy, put expensive things in your close proximity. If you want to be healthy, put healthy things in your close proximity. It's like a very good strategy to try out.
Bro,
Um,
I hadn't even thought about it that way. Like just like your comfort zone, and yeah, like your home would be like the ultimate comfort zone, right?
yeah.
So whatever you just put there, it's yeah, yeah, very good. Honestly, I have something here as well.
Damn.
It's sitting on my desk, and it's like a stack of money, like you were
Hey,
saying.
I noticed that when we were hanging out.
Yeah, you saw it as well, right? At some point, I just thought like, why not just get some money out of the ATM and just put it on my desk and just I don't know. It's not like it's not to flex or anything. It's just to have it, right? And to count it and just to see it
I'm actually going to write
and
that
to
down
love
because,
it and
yeah,
to
probably
love it as
it's like a
well.
very good idea.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Like to love it? What do you mean?
Yeah, I guess I think we get kind of taught the idea that we need to hate money or like money is dirty, money is hard to make, money is evil, kind of these beliefs, right? These are some predominant beliefs in our society, and the key is just to kind of let go of those and to maybe even like touch money and just I don't know, just not be disgusted by it. And because my mom would tell me like, hey, don't touch those coins all the time because the coins are carrying a lot of dirt. So I would like kind of stay away from coins and that kind of stuff. And
Wow.
that's how it happens. Like at one point I just was counting my money and then after that immediately I just ate my meal without washing my hands. Kind of to yeah, to get rid of that belief.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, because money is dirty, bro.
That's such a funny way to go about it. Like just doing the complete opposite of the belief. And I feel like with money, when you like rationally observe it, it doesn't make any sense why you would call money evil. Because like
No,
money is just
it's
the
so
same
stupid.
as everything else. If anything, it's actually less. So it's not
Hmm.
like evil or dirty or like out of my reach, but it's actually like paper. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
just
It's just
paper,
like
bro.
yeah, it's valueless. But there is a kind of nuance to this because um, today's society does require money to buy certain things. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's not like completely neglecting it, but I think the main thing for people who currently have negative money beliefs is just recognizing it first of all. See, and the easiest way to know what your money beliefs is by looking at your bank account. And then obviously there is going to be a delay if we talk like law of attraction wise, because people can feel truly abundant, but it might take some time for money to actually materialize, if that makes sense. But it is a good indication. To be honest, I when I ran my SMMA, I had quite a lot of expenses. And I had this as well for the first business I started, which was an e-commerce business. Interestingly enough, I do see a pattern there where I might kind of have this belief, or have had, because I don't believe I have it anymore, because why would I believe it? But where I have had this belief that uh, business is like operating on tiny margins, or like you always
Mm,
have to spend a lot to get a lot. Because that's what I noticed with this SMMA. And also the
mm,
reason why I never really particularly made a lot of profit and kept a lot of money. I continuously reinvested it into ads, into softwares,
mm,
into employees. And it's also very powerful for people to know that working against your beliefs is like it's either short lasting or it just will create the complete opposite effect. So what I mean is if you believe subconsciously that money is hard to make, you can like
mm,
do anything, but money for
mm,
you will be hard to make just because you believe it will. So the best thing to do is not try and take reckless action to
mhm.
make the money, but it's actually to first look at the belief and then take the action. And it doesn't even have to be reckless. You might as well just choose a belief that actually serves you. So instead of choosing to believe money is hard to make, choose to believe money is easy to make. Because why not? It's like
Why not?
you can pretty much choose it, and then
Why not,
obviously it
bro?
will take some time. You have
Yeah,
to
of course. Of
you have to
course.
look at reality, see the evidence of your
Yeah.
belief actually playing out. But yeah, man, that's pretty much how it is. Now
Yeah,
I
man.
actually want to
Good
talk a
point.
little bit of music with you, Tarik, because I like
Nice.
know you're a big music guy, of course.
I love music.
Um, I don't know a lot about the industry. What are some of the things that you really want to change potentially in like the music industry or with your own music? What's kind of that vision? Maybe if you want to share it with people.
Mm, good question. So, mostly I've seen music like a I've seen music as like a form of maybe amusement or like not necessarily to progress, right? It's just more like an entertainment thing.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's I think how most people view it. However, I want to um, I want to make I want to go a little step further and just through the music. Of course, it needs to be nice and people need to be able to enjoy it. However, I think we can uh, put like a more powerful message at the back of it so that people, I don't know, feel inspired as well. Like more, like even more sense of inspirement. That's kind of the goal that I have right now, the vision. Is that like what were you asking?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much like what is sort of the vision you have with your music.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's it.
Really
Of
great,
course, I
man.
can elaborate even further on that, but that's like the in a nutshell.
Gotcha. And how are you moving towards this vision? Like, what kind of does that look like of like this process of making it happen?
Think I think really getting deep into the identity behind this performer, right? That will both like make entertaining music, like good music, soulful music, and on the other side also thinking a bit more, I guess, business wise, and so that um, so that so that we can reach the correct people, and we can also, when they want to further their lives, that they can actually do that, so that they can, I don't know, maybe buy into a product or go through some like free information where they can better their lives. Yeah, and kind of this idea that no, maybe yeah, that's it, bro. And further, how I would want to reach this. Yeah, I guess I also want to with that character that will perform the music, with that same character or maybe a slightly different one, making YouTube videos because I
Mm.
love I love doing that as well. I realized, and just yeah,
Nice.
through those mediums, just delivering.
I love how you think about it like
And,
that because.
and
Oh,
then
sorry.
yeah,
Go ahead.
now yeah, just the last thing, just then and then the people will get get attracted by it. Just I mean, not necessarily like we were doing in with the agency, right? We were targeting a lot of people, like almost dragging them on the sales call. But I think this can be a more natural way of like yeah, like attracting the right people, attracting the right audience.
Definitely. I mean, that's a shift I'm seeing as well. Like the shift from kind of pressure based sales and marketing to like almost the complete opposite. Almost like
Mm,
if you want this product, like you can come to me. Almost that attitude. And it's
mm,
interesting because people that maybe haven't been in business for long or maybe are recent into business, they probably see this that there's a lot of like inbound content creation. You basically like personal brands, all of this stuff. Um, but like 3 to 4 years ago, or like 2 to 3 years ago, outbound was like such a primary way of getting clients and was kind of normal at this point. But then people started to get so sick of it that they kind of flipped to the opposite, and it reminds me of a lot of fun times, people getting pissed off.
uh, horrible.
Yeah, it was actually so much fun. Yeah, I
It
love
was
to
nice.
get back to the point. Um, I love that you have this combined vision of like YouTube, business, and music. Because like some people might just focus on music and then just like they want to produce the best music, and then others might be like, for example, I want to become an athlete and then I want to become the best in this specific sport or with business. And I think like I would be curious to know from you like what made you kind of have this combined vision and not just focus on music?
Mm.
Why not just focus on music?
I think that stems from like, I guess, me growing up. I kind of always loved like seeing direct results, right? Like the growth oriented thing. And that's also where business was really, yeah, the thing, right? Because in business, you're just, yeah, progress. However, also at times I found this to be become too serious. Like it was almost too serious for life. So like, why cannot we just find the sweet spot where we can just have our amusement and our like the place where we can blow off some steam while also delivering like serious stuff, right? Some serious growth. And I guess, of course, music is serious in itself, but the product itself of music, I don't know, you don't, yeah, it's like you don't, you're not listening to music in, I don't know, a serious business meeting or anything, right? So I kind of wanted to intersect those yeah those perspectives where we can have our growth and where we can have our results with people where they can yeah really benefit from what we have to offer, but also on a less serious vibe, I guess. And this I think this less serious vibe will um, yeah take care of the relaxation of the person, right? Like we were talking about in meditation where you get very relaxed. I think it's where your subconscious can flow better. And I think we can that way we can yeah, have better ideas, have more natural ideas, have more better work as well, like honest work, like hard work from the heart. That was kind of what I was seeing, but we have to see what happens. But that's kind of the, yeah, like the starting point.
Gotcha. I think one thing which you repeatedly brought up is like working from the heart. Why do you think that's so important?
Good question. Yeah, because the heart is the most powerful thing, right? Or I guess it holds a lot of power because the heart, like when you work from your heart, you're you're creating without restrictions. So you're not um I guess this is what you taught me like a few weeks ago. You were sending a message like um the mind will have different ideas, right? For what's right, but the heart as well. The heart knows what the heart wants. So I guess the mind will try to interfere with that, but when you create solely from your heart, it's more natural and it's more flow and it's less troubled by the ideas of society and what needs to happen around you, right? So you get this
Mm-hmm.
person who will work from the heart, who follows the heart, that will just put out something completely new, like revolutionary, because they're tapping into ideas which have never been seen before, because that's from the heart. And I think that the heart is kind of like a receiver from the universe or God.
Mm. Wow. What are some of the people that you possibly admire that you really think create from the heart?
Yeah, I think a lot of my favorite artists, like Future or Young Thug or Tame Impala, is also like in a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these artists, I think, maybe yeah, I want to give a different example as well from business, for example. I think now obviously Elon Musk, I think, is creating from the heart because he's just coming up with ideas that no one has ever seen, like heard of, and nobody even thinks of, and everybody thinks he's crazy, or while while he is like holding steady on his frame and on his vision, and he just lets people join that. So I think
Oh,
that's
you
powerful.
think he actually creates from the heart, Elon Musk?
Mm, I think he has like a vision that is sitting deep there. Yeah, like maybe not everything he does is straight from the heart, but I guess
Hmm.
this man does have like an overarching like um like love for the world that he wants to progress in. And obviously not everyone is gonna see will that he really truly holds the interest of the universe of the world at heart, but yeah, that's also like his opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he does. What do you think?
Yeah, I asked because I think you have a great point. Like, it seems like he has this connection to a bigger vision outside of himself.
Mm,
That's kind of characteristic of the heart. Um, because, like you said, it hasn't been done before. It's like a unique idea. But part
hmm
of me also questions this because he comes across as like a very um, rational guy. I think actually one of the interviews which I saw from him talked about that he the motivation for him doing all of this fancy stuff, revolutionary fancy stuff, of course, is that he did not want to look at a future that was like depressing or something. So like a future where we would destroy ourselves, and that made him like almost want to cry, essentially. So I'm curious because this seems, from like a spiritual perspective, it seems like he is operating from like the lower vibrational frequencies of like fear, of like sadness, like with the spectrum, that he's possibly like using that as a motivation, but he still achieves great results. So it could potentially be that these visions came from him because he puts so much like energy into his work. So that's maybe another angle that I think could be included with this. So like, despite the fact that he might not be fully conscious of like living from the heart, creating from the heart, I think because of the amount of energy that he puts into his work, it's almost like these ideas from the mind or from the heart are like almost coming into his mind. You know what I mean? Like it's not the same as like, for example, meditation and then seeing the vision, but he just goes into so much action and creates so much energy, so much change that this stuff comes to him. But I do believe there is like a flip side to this, because I think what I've heard from him is that he spends quite a lot of time on meetings and barely any time with like family or free time. I'm curious to hear your perspective on this. Do you think achieving a vision like his would be possible without Elon Musk sacrificing his own health? So him living from his highest vibration. Do you think he would achieve the same results?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, Elon Musk is Elon Musk, right? So he's gonna work however he thinks he's gonna deliver the best work.
Ooh.
However, I think most people would benefit more from a balanced outlook, or a balanced, like a balanced approach. Because, we are human, right? We have different needs in different like areas of life. So I guess the average person would live a more fulfilling and also more, they can also reach better progress when they would just live a bit more balanced. Because we see it a lot, right? We see a lot of people who are addicted to working, and they think more work will be the answer, and it just doesn't work like that. I think Elon Musk just taps into his heart way more often, and through the work, indeed, he can fulfill that, what the heart wants. So I guess he isn't meditating a lot, but
Do you think he meditates at all?
maybe like an informal kind of meditation. Like maybe he's while he's traveling, maybe he can, I don't know, do some sleep, or just sit and just feel and just think and just like without any phones. I don't know. I don't know like a lot of about the day-to-day life of Elon Musk.
Gotcha.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? I know of a particular practice though of him.
What is that?
Well, I'm not sure if it's like a habit or like a habitual thing or regular thing, but I know that he advised people to take ketamine once in a while. Yeah,
Really?
like an occasional thing. Yeah, he wrote it on Twitter, and you can just find it back.
Damn.
He thinks that people would benefit from an occasional ketamine dose. And I think there's not, yeah, I think there's truth in that. There's like more and more evidence coming as well into ketamine therapy and other kind of drug therapies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this would kind of maybe serve as a meditation time for him.
Wow, that's interesting. I actually was very close to starting a business in the ketamine. Uh,
Really?
yeah, but like when I kind of quit my SMMA, I don't really like the word quit, but anyway, I stopped doing my SMMA in the medical spannies, which is what I did at first.
Hmm.
I considered going to another niche, and one of the niches which I was recommended or like advised was ketamine therapy. So ketamine
Yeah, bro.
assisted therapy.
Yeah, bro.
I see you
I
light up.
swear. I swear that's also what I was looking at like half a year ago or something. I saw a few YouTube channels with doing ketamine like videos, but also like a therapy, like the real therapist talking about ketamine therapy
Yeah,
and
it's a real thing,
how it
man.
helps people.
It's a real thing, and I'm curious, like, what according to Elon Musk, what are like the benefits of taking it? Because for any people listening, by the way, please be careful. Do not like suddenly go and buy it or take it. Like, do your own
No,
research,
please,
but yeah.
please be careful. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, what were you asking? Like,
Like, what does he think
oh yeah.
are the benefits for like taking it? Like, is it relaxation? Is it like spiritual enhancement? Like, I don't know, what kind of reasons does he have for it?
Yeah, I think those two that you mentioned, but also like relaxing the nervous system and kind of that way processing things. Because what it is, it's like an anesthetic, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
also a hallucinogen. So what you can essentially do is get really chill, like almost like meditative, like stillness, meditation like stillness, yeah. And then
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start visualizing with this because it is an hallucinogen, and you see these visions from your future, like you would in meditation. At least that's what I think. I think that's what he means as well.
Gotcha, that's interesting. I'm probably gonna look it up after the podcast because, like, I didn't
Hmm.
expect that from Elon Musk. But like, oftentimes these people that we look up to are really just ordinary people, so it doesn't surprise me that much. Um,
Hmm.
I think one thing that really inspires me about Elon Musk is his almost ability to select goals outside of what seems realistic or possible. There's something which I'm actually implementing myself. Is like I believe that achieving big goals is just as easy as achieving small goals. It's just difference in time. If you reframe your mindset, you will be able to achieve it. That's like I believe that's facts.
Hmm.
Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's something I really admire from him. Like his ability to just, for example, pick going to Mars and actually work towards it. And he's relentless. He's relentless in his pursuit of these goals. It's like this flip side is the happy Elon Musk that you see on interviews on Twitter. But then I think the business Elon Musk is like very strict, very focused,
Hmm.
um, visionary as well. What
Hmm.
would you say, Tarik, are some of the things you admire from him specifically?
Yeah, exactly like you were saying. Like he's the guy that gets all these ideas and just relentlessly acts on them without caring much about what the world thinks because there's a lot of opinions about him, right? So
Yeah.
I really respect that. And yeah, just kind of he seems like a very kind and sweet, almost sweet, right? Right, guy. And um, but also having this side of him that just, yeah, like he's not going to be kind if anyone's going to be interfering with his vision. So I respect that as well.
Yeah, man. Me too. Um,
What do you like?
yeah, similar to what I said, like just the relentless pursuit of his vision, but then also his ability to kind of shift into a different person. Something which I talked about with Jack is actually one of the previous podcasts which I've done with Jack Moses. Was covering archetypes. So basically, like you are one person, or you are like. Let's not get into the spiritual debate of what you are, but um, you could say on the reality, on the physical level, you have all of these archetypes. So you play, for example, the entrepreneur, you play the athlete, you play the friend, you play the husband, you play the, I don't know, the singer, whatever, the musician, the artist. You have all of these kind of archetypes that you shift into during the day. Um, so I think that that's something which he probably does quite well. So he turns from CEO or whatever founder running the business to representative on the media. He's even involved in political stuff now, which I'm not too interested in, but he does have that as well. Probably because it's easier for him to continue his companies if he has this like political, uh, you could say like support or something. Um, so yeah, man, I would say those things.
Yeah,
There
that's
was
amazing. He's
There
like
was another
water.
thing which I wanted to bring up that slipped my mind, but maybe it possibly comes back. Um, Never mind. Maybe a next topic to cover is like psychedelics, because I have read quite a lot about it, but I'm not really that into actually using it. And I know
Hmm.
you, if you feel comfortable sharing, of course, do have more experience with it than me. What do you feel are some reasons for people to get into psychedelics? If they're maybe still listening at this point.
Yeah, and yeah, thank you if you're still listening. Like, you guys are amazing. You
Yes,
guys
man.
are onto something, actually. Yeah, you guys are gonna make it. I
Yeah,
know
man.
it.
People that are listening at this
If
timestamp,
you're
probably
if
about
you're
an hour
still
in.
listening, if you're still listening, you're gonna make it.
Yeah, bro, you've
100%.
already made it because you can choose yourself. And now we're all of the three of us, like the listener, Tarik and me, we're all gonna make it because we're still here. Let's go, bro.
Well, you
I
nailed
love
it.
this,
You
man. I
nailed it.
love it.
You nailed it.
I love
Okay,
this.
psychedelics.
Oh no, never mind. Sorry, it did slip into my mind what I wanted to ask you. By the way,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to share the stuff about psychedelics, that is cool too. But what I wanted to ask is regarding becoming famous, because Elon Musk is famous, like worldwide big guy. I don't know if I personally would want to be famous. And you, as a future musician artist, maybe have also thought about it. Like being famous
Yeah,
does come with the upsides, but also with the
yeah,
downsides. How have
yeah.
you thought about that?
Honestly, I've thought about this, and I guess this came like a natural sign from the universe. I guess I was watching something or I was reading something, and the universe just said to me, it doesn't, it's not the question of whether or not you're going to be famous, it's just to what degree. So instead of seeing it as an absolute thing where you are either famous or you're either no one knows you, like how famous do you want to be, and how famous do you get? Because if you have an audience of 100,000, you don't have to worry about like probably like going to the movies or going to the supermarket like worldwide, right?
Yeah, you might have to take
If
some
it
pictures.
if yeah, yeah, like here and there maybe someone just asks for a picture, but you don't need security or whatever. But yeah, if you go to Kanye West level, or yeah, you're gonna need some sort of security probably, and wherever you go. So yeah,
What about you?
I've thought about that, and I honestly, I just want to become as famous as the universe requires me to in order to deliver
Wow.
whatever I was meant to deliver to the world. So yeah, I know there's gonna be downsides to that, but I'm taking this for humanity and for me and for the world.
Amazing, man. And would you, because one thought which popped up into my mind is regarding what we talked about earlier is comfort zone. So potentially people that want to start a huge business or become an artist, an athlete, if you're not comfortable with being famous right now, subconsciously you're going to hold yourself back from taking action that's going to manifest into you becoming famous. Or other
Mm,
words, like basically if you believe or if you are not comfortable being famous right now, then you're not going to be famous in the future because like you're going to subconsciously self-sabotage. So would you say you're comfortable, you think, with like becoming really famous, like Kanye level? Have you thought about that?
yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought about the fun sides, of course. I guess that's where you think about first, but you also kind of eventually start thinking about the negatives, and you start seeing videos of paparazzi at like famous people places. Like how, what? You're literally standing outside of someone's like safe space. It's like their only safe space on the world. So yeah, I did have a serious think about that. And I guess to touch on the last question you were asking, I don't know, maybe like least famous would be best, be like maybe having some fame, but being able to deliver fully on that instead of like being ultra famous and then delivering on the same thing, right? I think you want to be um, kind of, kind of less, yeah, like less famous, least famous as possible. But I don't know. Maybe that's a false belief. And I'm actually going to think about this after our call. Thank you.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no
yeah,
problem. I'm glad
definitely.
I'm able to give you some like stuff to ponder on. And I really liked that you brought up Kanye because I love Kanye for one specific reason, and that's his absolute conviction. His conviction in himself, in his music.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, what do you think that Kanye's initial motivation or drive or vision was when he started?
Mm, good question, bro. I guess I've seen some documentary about him, and what I remember from that is that he wanted to become a rapper, but
Mm-hmm.
he started with producing. And what that tells me is like maybe he had always like a deep desire to become someone greater, maybe even like from like the ego. And I guess sometimes I don't know, there's obviously no judgment in that, but sometimes maybe even still see that he's like very centered around himself. But I don't know, maybe a sense of greatness. Um, Obviously, with his own motivations to help the world be a more creative, more better place in his style, in his vision. And yeah, I don't know. Do you remember? Maybe you know you can touch on this better. Like,
Yeah, I've also watched a bit of his documentary. It actually got me quite excited to look at it again because this guy. from the beginning was just so confident. Like when no one was listening, he was still like blasting his own music in the
Mm.
studio. That's something
Mm.
which I just find so fulfilling and exciting to watch, because it's like this guy just doesn't care. Like even if he might trip up his words on the show, he might ramble like no one has an idea what he's talking about. He doesn't care, and I think that's such a beautiful trait to have. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, to answer your question about what I think that his vision was, I think his vision must be bigger than himself, because it's almost like he talks that he's so convicted himself, and I think that he probably believes himself that he has like a purpose for God, or like
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, to make music and such. I don't know if his name has anything to do with it, because I think he now calls himself Ye instead of Kanye. Might be wrong on that, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I do definitely believe that he has a lot of personal conviction, and that conviction is probably aimed towards serving people, and I think that's what he believes to do as like a for God, you could say, or like a mission for a higher purpose. I think that's his motivation.
Yeah.
Like not himself, but he is convicted in himself, but the mission is not for himself, if that makes sense.
Good point. Yeah, I think so as well. Like maybe I think he even sees himself as a prophet of God. I don't know.
Could be, could be. We will have to ask him.
That was what just came up, right? Because he does some things about like Christianity, I think, and
Uh-huh.
I think he's Christian. So I guess indeed he's doing some bigger work for his God or for God. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
Yeah,
I
nice,
think so
bro.
too.
Good question. Good question.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, yeah, Tarik, we have been running this one for about an hour. I guess about an hour and 10 minutes, depending on like what I've edited out.
Hmm.
So probably going to wrap it up here. Do you have any final piece of wisdom that you would like to share with the listener? And as a kind of addition, what kind of wisdom can you give for people that want to get more into their hearts?
Nice. Yeah, because the only wisdom, guys, I want to give you is three words, and it's to follow your heart.
Let's go.
Yeah, 100%. Like if you wanna make money, I don't know. It might seem like counterproductive to follow your heart because you've seen these things, right? People following their passion and goes wrong or something, or it's just insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think the heart is where you can make the most money from because essentially money is also an energy, and the more energy of flowing through your body, the more abundance you're seeing and you're experiencing, and you can give to the world. So yeah, I think from the heart, if you follow the heart to the yeah to the fullest, then you can also tap into the fullest of of the energy that will what you can eventually capitalize on, right? So follow your heart, guys.
Wow, man. That's such an
That,
amazing word of wisdom.
thank you, bro. Thank you.
No problem, man. It
I
was
really
really.
enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this today.
Thank you so much, man. It was really great to have you on. I would say you're
I
one of
already
my
love
best
your
friends.
podcast.
So thank you so much, man. So
Yeah,
definitely, it was great just having this conversation. I mean, we talk a lot as well in
thank
Dutch.
you, bro.
This one was in English. Um, Shared some wisdom. It was a great one. For anyone who is listening, I will of course share all of the usual stuff as well as Tarik's socials if he's comfortable with me doing that. Um, Probably also going to link my school community if you want to check it out. I'm currently building for those of you who are particularly interested in increasing your energy. Although I'm not sure like how it's going to look at the time that you are listening or watching this. As always, my YouTube channel will be in the description. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Definitely keep an eye on Tarik, because he's going to be one big ass star artist. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on yourself. Hope you have an amazing day, and looking forward to seeing you